Hi, so I wanted to show you these wonderful marionberries I have here in my Zen garden. They're awful stickery, lots of stickers. I really should have gloves on, but if I use my fingernails, I can carefully move them out of the way. I don't want to cut them because they're next year's growth. I mean, this is this year's growth, but next year's berries. So with marionberries, you don't want to cut off the new runners that come out. You just want to train them back up onto a fence or wall or whatever you're training your berries on. Little marionberry or berry factoid. You probably already know that if you live in the Pacific Northwest. Anyway, I have wonderful marionberries. It's that time of year. And you know, I get to thinking about it. When you pick berries, look how gorgeous that is. They're so sweet. It just falls off in my hand. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And you choose your berries wisely, right? If they're not falling off in your hand, they're not ready. They're not ripe. Oh, so sweet. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you, Mother Earth, for your abundance and for sharing your wonderful sweet marionberries with me. You know, choosing berries is a lot like choices you have in life. I was kind of thinking abstractly about it, which was kind of neat because I thought it's like your words. You should think about the words you use and choose. And that's what you say to others, but also what you say to yourself, right? Because if you choose a berry that's not ripe, it'll be bitter. If you choose words that are incorrect or mean or a lie, even at the tiniest level, your higher self knows it. You know it. And it makes you vibe incoherent and isn't good for you. Just like a berry that isn't ripe and ready to pick. It's not really that great for you because tummy problems, right? And so can your words. They can literally make you sick if you use words over and over, especially to yourself in your own head, that are highly negative or, just down on others or down on yourself. Those words resonate at a certain frequency. And it's not the frequency where kindness and love resonates, where your body can heal and you can be healthy and happy. If you're allowing yourself to pick berries or choose words that aren't good for you yet, that aren't healthy for you at all, you should identify it. Say, I see that. That berry right there, that one's not ready. I shouldn't pick that one. Or, I almost said that. I almost said, for example, I'm no good at that. Stop yourself right there and tell yourself, that was not nice. That wasn't kind. Run it through the kindness check. Was it kind and loving before it left my lips or my thoughts? Was it kind and loving? If not, check it first. Check it at the door before you let it out. Is the berry ripe and sweet yet? Or is it bitter and maybe going to give me an issue with my digestion here? Captain of your thoughts, brothers and sisters. All right. Let's see. Here's another one. Look at that. I'm talking so much. My colander is still empty. I have one lonely little berry. Oh, this is like my third time to come out. Over a span, I would say, maybe 2 weeks. And they're still coming on, and I still see ones here that are not ripe and are still getting ready to get bigger and darker purple. They're real light green. I don't know if you can see those in the camera, but they're certainly not ready, and certainly would give me indigestion if I ate them right now, right? And that's like words that are unkind, including to yourself. And you know, I also started thinking about when you pick berries, it's not just kind of like the words you choose, but it's decisions you make and choose, right? The decision itself. Oh my, those are really plump and beautiful. Can you see that? Oh, thank you so much, Mother Earth. Oh, and the sun is shining. Wow. I'm so grateful for my Zen garden. I'm so grateful for my creativity and that I allowed myself to think all of this up and and now I allow myself to enjoy it. Those are all decisions. Just like picking berries, brothers and sisters. Oh, here's one way up there. Oh, it's so plump and ripe. And down here are a bunch of stickers. I have to watch myself. I get stuck on my shirt. Yeah. But I kind of, here's another thing I do. And this is something you can do at your home. Even if you don't have a garden, you could have a house plant, right? I talk to my plants. I make friends with them. I thank them. I actually thank all of my plants, even my trees. I go out there and, well, here's an example, okay? And don't feel silly about it. Science shows that plants, they have a frequency too. And they enjoy it when we try to come to their frequency. Love and joy and kindness, gratitude, right? All of those higher frequencies. We can prove in a laboratory that plants thrive when you give them those frequencies. So I'll do things like, thank you so much for your wonderful sweet berries that you give me every summer. I'm so grateful. Oh my gosh. And I see more right there. We have a dogwood tree in the front yard that's just spectacular. And I spoke to it last year a lot in the spring before it bloomed. And it had the most blooms it ever had since we've been living here. Wow, that's a lot of years. And it had the most fruit it's ever had. I didn't even know dogwoods had that much fruit. I'd seen a berry or two in the past and kind of thought nothing of it. But after I gave it a blessing and used my Reiki powers on it, I noticed a huge difference. There was just buckets of fruit on it last year. And then I looked it up and researched it, and I had no idea you could eat dogwood fruit. We'd owned this tree in our family for years. But I allowed gratefulness and love and kindness and blessed the tree for being in our family for so many years and really felt love and joy towards it and touched her leaves. And my goodness, I just had colanders full of dogwood fruit last year. Looked it up and come to find out it's extremely good for you. So I ate the last bit that was on because I didn't learn it till late summer when most of the fruit was done. I'm not going to make that mistake this year. I'm going to collect all of it and eat all of it because it's so good for you. And any little thing you can grow in your own home where you live is, even if it's just one little pot, is good for you. It's good for Gaia, Mother Earth. And it's good for your soul. You're giving back and you're showing love. And that's always groovy, brothers and sisters. These marionberries are a hybrid of blackberries. They were developed here in the Pacific Northwest, actually in the state of Oregon, and they were developed by a Dr. George Waldo in the county of Marion, which is in Corvallis, Oregon. And because they were in Marion County, they were known as marionberries. But they're actually quite a bit bigger than a blackberry, but they're in the same family. And boy, they're just loaded with vitamin C and antioxidants, and therefore they can really help you fight disease, cancer, inflammation. Now you see this is what they look like before they're ripe. So those would be very bitter and not ready to eat, right? Now this one, especially the bigger one, is ready. And look, see, I didn't even have to give it a tug at all. It come right off in my hand very easily. That means it's ready. Taste that? Ooh, super sweet. Tastes very much like a blackberry if you've ever had one, but very distinct as well. I think they're sweeter and yummier, and they're excellent in pies, on pancakes, in muffins, in cobblers. Oh, wonderful. Ducky loves marionberries. We all love marionberries. Isn't that yummy, Ducky? Is that yummy? Oh boy. You're a good girl. And so these are my raspberries. Got several kinds of berries I grow in my yard. You know, ever since I decided to get healthy, I decided to really pay attention to what was in my yard and started to plant things on purpose that I knew were good for me. I started to research foods in a scientific way to see what's good for inflammation, what's bad for inflammation. If you want to get healthy, you really need to learn about what it is you're putting into your body. I used to be kind of against any type of dieting, and I still am. You got to remember, I used to weigh 234 pounds, and now I am at 128. Now, I was very sick for a long time, and I lost a lot of weight because of it. But you know, the last major portion of my weight loss was due to me honestly trying to pay attention to my health, which included meditation, paying attention to my thoughts, and paying attention to what was going into my body. Things like fresh raspberries, fresh marionberries, fresh fruits and vegetables, brothers and sisters. The more of a plant-based diet you have, the more of a chance you have at fighting illness. It's just the way of the world. If you're a meat and cheese and potato eater like I was, remember, everything's a perception. You taught yourself to love meat and potatoes, didn't ya? Well, you can make your perception such that you just love fresh fruits and vegetables. Some of you, that's easy, you already do. Some of you, like Michael, don't tell anyone, might be a little more on the picky side. Right, Climber? Come here, kitty. As usual, brothers and sisters, making a video? What does that mean? It's time for Climber to show up. And butterflies, did you see that? Yeah. If you're gonna come and interrupt, you might as well come and say hello. Yeah? Say hello, people. Hello! See my tummy? Yeah, you don't eat fruits and vegetables, do you? I'll let you go. Whew. She's still shedding. It's summertime, people. Woo! It's snowing cat hair. I'm so glad I'm not allergic to cat hair. That's another thing, guys. I have so many people tell me that because they've been practicing new healthy ways of living and thinking about things, their allergies are starting to lessen and in some cases even go away. It's just amazing what you can do. And it's amazing how sick you can make yourself with your thoughts. Every time you think you're allergic to something, you are correct, but you're also reinforcing that software of your avatar, reinforcing that you have allergies just by saying it either out loud or to yourself. I highly recommend you stop saying you have allergies and start saying to yourself, yeah, I used to have them real bad, but by golly, they're a little less this year. Start with that and see what happens. Try it as a science experiment. I know that I have friends who tried that as a science experiment. I kind of wanted to, but I never had allergies to try it with. I try experiments on myself all the time with this, consciousness way of approach, because I'm starting to find out it really does work. I mean, I lost all this weight. I'm walking around. I used to not be able to walk. All kinds of health problems solved just by my perception change. Eating healthier is one, of course. And so I thought I'd give you a tour of my delicious berries from my yard. From my heart to you, brothers and sisters. Take care of yourself. It's so worth it. Because life is worth it. And guess what? You're worth it.